Whee! And all the comments that just happened, you missed them just before this. No, I'm kidding. Well, you did. But welcome to everyone that's just joined the channel. If you happen to have just stumbled on me in this channel through the video with Mike, where we talked about and did a little interview in his studio on how to get the best vocal sound, then welcome. It's cool to see that being shared around and being useful to a lot of you getting things set up and recording at home. And yeah, for those of you that didn't know, pretty much every Tuesday I jump on and do a live session, ask me anything, and bring up some topics and things like that, but really is just maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that, where I kind of jump online, and if there's something you want to ask me or pick my brains on, then we can kind of dive into it. And I definitely don't have all the answers to everything, funnily enough. In fact, often I have very limited answers to everything. But Shimna's laughing in the background. Yeah, but we've just been practicing for a festival coming up in 3 days. It keeps feeling like it's a while away, but
next year.
It's next year. It's ages away. Got plenty of time, but yeah, we're going down to Revive Festival and playing there in Gisborne. Living in New Zealand, so we're very fortunate at the moment that we are able to do these things. We're able to play live shows, and even though borders and things are closed, we are able to actually play gigs and entertain and hang out with other humans, which feel very blessed and lucky to be able to do. But say hi if you're on. Otherwise, you're probably just going to end up with me ranting about things. But I put a subject in as tonight's topic of conversation, which, again, I don't have any definite answers, but I think the music industry is changing a lot, and we've seen that as well this last year with bunch of us doing live streaming things and shows from home, kind of like this, staring at a camera, entertaining and passing on tunes, chatting, knowledge via the online thing. And I thought it could be a good time to bring up the am I better to be a signed artist or an unsigned artist in going into 2021. Hey, Paul. Rant. Yeah. Gonna dig into it. And I can see some advantages of both sides, of course. One of the biggest things, if we just talk, I can only talk from being unsigned. I've never been signed, so I'm not, just to give you perspective, I'm not coming here ranting and being like, I've been signed and this happened, and I've been unsigned and this happened. I've just haven't been signed, and I haven't chased that, but I wanted to bring up, and I'm curious for your opinions and feedback, because I wanted to bring up part of an email that I got from an agency in New Zealand, and it just kind of grated on me a little bit, because they have some connections, and they do some great work for some people. But equally, the fundamental message was, we will take a cut of everything, and we're not going to promise, other than getting your stuff online, that we will do anything for you. There was no we're taking a percentage and we'll at least send it to these people, this playlists, that sort of thing. It was just we'll do our best, whatever that might be on any given day. So I just think in the industry now that if someone's going to take a cut of everything you've done for uploading your music to Spotify, to iTunes, to Apple Music, to Deezer, wherever online, there's so many options that are super, super cheap. So if they're not going to market you and push you, Why would you give a percentage of everything you do to an agency? Now, if they're going to market you and work on your behalf, amazing, fantastic. Because, if you're earning absolutely nothing and no one's listening to you, then it doesn't matter what percentage you're getting in terms of cash coming back to you for all your work and creativity and music and heart and soul that you've put into it. It doesn't really matter. But I wanted to just read out a part of an email because this just fascinates me. And it says, we, being the agency and me, tend to have the best results when there is some level of activity surrounding a new release. That could be radio play, good publicity, web blog coverage, solid tour dates, ad spends allocated, etc. And in a best case scenario, some combination of the above. End quote. The thing for me is that's all work I have to do. They don't do any of that. Zero. Nothing. So it's like, hang on, we as now a partnership tend to do the best when you do all of these things. I'm like, that seems interesting to me. So it's a little bit of like a rant on that side of things, and it's only one example. I'm not saying you should choose. I'm not saying either is good or bad. I just think it's a topic that's on my radar at the moment, being like, has the music industry changed so much so that the old model of needing to get signed, needing to have, because previously, if you weren't signed, it was like, how do you get your music on radio, on kind of published, distributed around the world, was much more challenging. So yeah, a little bit of a kind of rant to kick things off, but I was, kind of hoping there'd be more people that could jump in and be like, offer feedback on different approaches. And I'd love to see that in the comments if you tune into this after the fact. It would be, really, really interesting to me to know. So, but yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. Like, what is a better option? Keep all of the income and be an indie artist, and market is happening anyway in that sense, or be like, I'm going to give you a permanent cut, and fingers crossed you promote me. I know you won't give any guarantees that you will, which is fair enough. Like, we can't exactly guarantee like this song's going to be a hit if you release it with us. But I think there needs to be maybe a little bit more accountability now in the way that businesses and agencies maybe operate. Just a thought. That's my opinion. So feel free to like totally tear it apart. And to be honest, I'd love to hear opinions for both sides, reasons why and why not, because it's something I'm constantly aware of. Anyway, hi Charlotte. Welcome to a live stream in between Mighty Christmas and New Year. Yeah. Paul. Love it. How's the pub? Yeah, other than that, to be honest, I'm just going to hang out and say hi and see what's happening. Shimla's being very silent in the background. I was expecting to get like distant comments.
Sorry.
They heard that.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna crank up the the compression so that every whisper is heard. But yeah, I don't know. This might be a super short live stream, just kind of tuning in and saying hi. Who knows? Been doing a lot of playing. Otherwise, it's just like, this is like a live update of what's been happening. Is today I've been filming. I'm like, I tried to film many things today, and my voice really did not want to cooperate. Well, I still filmed them, but they're not going to get released anywhere. Yeah, sorry about that. So, anyway, I think, to be honest, I think this might be a really short live stream where I just basically have a rant about being signed or not. John, hey man, how's it going? How can I get clients as a mixer producer? Nice. My first thing would be how getting yourself visible. So I just look at my journey. I'm not a mixer or a producer, so I don't do exactly what you're doing. But my first thoughts on this stuff are the same as my approach with performing gigs and music, is you have to be visible. So, for example, I would reach out to people, let's say with what I did today, recording a loop cover for YouTube. Again, depends what you want to do, whether you're doing what kind of projects you want, but you could reach out to people and be like, hey, I'm a mixer, producer. Do you have something that I could work on that you'd be willing to credit me for if it goes in a public space? And it might start out, for example, like that, like a YouTube clip where it's like, hey, I'm happy to put down the bottom. It would save me a bunch of time. I'll get a really nice mix. Mixed by John. So, whatever, if you have a studio name or however you work. And otherwise, I would genuinely, if you've got a promo page, like of mixes production that you've done, I would start reaching out to people and sending a message. And I know this is kind of like, it can be really hit and miss. But the thing that I find, I get a lot of messages from people that it's just a copy paste message, and it's just instantly they get deleted. Like, sorry, but if it's quite rare. But when someone actually says a genuine typed email, like this is not, or Instagram message or that sort of thing, it doesn't always mean we work together. But if someone's like, hey, I actually listened to this, I really think it's cool. Do you have the files? Could I remix this and do something? Or this is what I do. These are my rates. If there's something where you've got guitar, vocals, I'm excellent at adding like the production side, right? Whether you want it to go down a path of like a full band or different arrangements. I don't know your strengths and skills, to be honest. This is what I could do. Here's maybe an example of some of the stuff I've done. Let's tee up maybe something if you're keen to try it and see where it goes. I've found that's been a really, really good way, music-wise, of working. It does mean you're putting yourself out there to start with, that there's a bunch of time and effort and energy that a lot of it will get no results. But the flip side of that is if you get traction from just a few of those, it can really snowball. It's like people start talking about you. Hey, I've been working with this really, really good guy. Things are super easy. I know this is like basics and work and effort, and who knows, you possibly probably do this. I have zero idea what your experience, full skill set and all that sort of stuff is. But yeah, hope that maybe sparks some ideas on just being able to reach out and start some conversations with genuinely, I would find people that you're like, I would love to mix for this person, and send them a message. The beauty of social media now is you can find people's, like you can message them on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, that sort of stuff. But see what you think you can genuinely contribute to that person and put that in the message, rather than just like, hi, I mix stuff. My rates are this. That will, for me, I'm like, delete. You might be amazing, but I will delete that message.
Ruthless.
Well, it's true. I'm like, yeah, Shimmer's like ruthless in the background, but it is. I get like same on my website. I'm like, I get messages just being like, I can help you rank for this. It's like if I get one message on my, and I haven't yet. This is why it's so powerful if you actually can show that you have some engagement or interest in the person. If I get one message on my website that someone genuinely says something they can contribute to my website, specifically, like I've watched this, I've seen that you have a YouTube channel, I've looked at your website, you know, maybe there's something that someone has a skill in being like, if we actually connect these better, both of them will improve. I would be like, let's chat, absolutely. But I've got hundreds of messages from people on my website that are copy paste automated. Hi, I'm really good at SEO and we can rank your page better. Like, delete, goodbye. And they're probably awesome. So yeah, I hope that's useful, John. Charlotte, I am super happy with my new looper. It's going to take a while to get the combination set up. So I think I mentioned in one of the last kind of update videos, I have two separate boards at the moment. One, the RC300 on its own, and then a pedal board with some control switches going into the RC300 and a couple of main effects for my guitar. Love it. It is a bit to set up, but at some stage when I map out kind of the final combo of effects and control switches and things, how I'm going to rig it, it will all go into one pedal board, all wired up, that I literally can take and open the case, which will be very nice. But I really, really love it. It's opened up a lot of scope with having that third channel available, and then just a few nice little things of being able to set up the assigns on the Boss RC300 and controlling them to start and stop different combinations of loops to have everything nice and snappy. And it's just fun. It's just really nice. I took that when I was traveling down to Christchurch, and just great as a practice tool as well. I mean, again, I can do this with Voice Live 3, just plug some headphones in the back and be like, sweet, can practice. With the RC300, I don't have all the effects and sounds, but with, yeah, I'm very happy. that's rather than me like waffling on about stuff, I'm really, really enjoying it. And yeah, it's good. The festival is going to be like the first bigger rigged show that I'll be doing with it. So yeah. Oh, awesome, John. Thanks, man. Honestly, feel free to connect and send me a message if there's something you want to share or chat about. Then yeah. Don't know if it's useful, but happy to chat and kind of see what might come out of it for you. Yeah. Well, I have used a boomerang pedal once for like 3 minutes. But yeah, I have a friend that uses that as their main looper, which, to be honest, I think they've changed now. But that was for a very long time. I just don't like the buttons on it. Tiny little buttons. But this is so like nitpicky, right? And I'm like, I don't like the buttons. They're very little. Yeah, but they're a very cool option as well. So there's heaps of cool stuff. My next little experiment, and I'll keep you posted. It may or may not work, but we're going to see if we can connect the RC300 MIDI synced with the Ditto X4, which may or may not work. But worth testing out. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to say ciao. Thanks for tuning in. Or if you're watching this later, welcome. And sorry you missed it. But yeah, thanks everyone. I think we're going to go back to practicing and not drinking more coffee. And getting set up for this festival. And I'll be filming some stuff from there. I'm really looking forward to that. And hopefully get to share some festival vibes with all of you some of you anyway, that are still kind of in lockdown and weird combinations of that. So try and share the love where possible, and give you some enthusiasm and excitement to look forward to as we come out of this, whenever that might all be. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.